Welcome back to Shark Week, Hack Stab Slash. And boy, oh boy, do we have a follow up movie for Ouija Shark 2. This one is called Shark Side of the Moon. And Justin,
Yeah,
if
Sean.
you're an astronaut and you're going to the moon and you're a shark, what are you bringing for lunch?
I don't know, Sean. Is this a dad joke or
Kinda, yeah. I would bring a peanut butter and jellyfish. That was horrible. I know. You can just shake your head, nod in disapproval at me like my dad.
we're just gonna let's just oh my God. I don't even know what to say. That was so bad. I mean, maybe just cut that out.
No, I'm leaving it in just like I
No,
do to you every time.
no. Oh,
All right, Justin, what are your expectations? Because my expectations, I'm like, we have like a hit or miss with shark movies. I think just in general, not just the ones we've watched. I feel
yeah,
like
no, definitely in
60% of them
general.
are okay, 10% are
Yeah.
like really good. And then like the remaining 30% are like god awful.
Yeah, this is definitely not our fault. This is just the freaking genre we decided to jump into with this whole shock horror thing.
All right, let's start swimming, buddy, because this is going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be a great movie or it's going to be so stupid and bad that it's going to be a great movie. Either way, it's a great day to be great with great movies and great greatness.
And great
Like,
white sharks. What just happened?
I don't know, but I turned this on, Justin,
Oh,
and I was like, all
yeah.
right, I hope this is more better. That's not even correct English.
I was gonna
Um,
say,
than
I
Ouija
hoped it
shark.
was like more better.
Yeah, the awesomeness. But my first set of notes is I was like, all right, dude, I fucking love this already. I get it. The CGI isn't the best. But when these two Soviet, like doctor scientist people accidentally let the sharks out and all hell breaks loose, I'm like, oh my God, are we about to get the horror version of the cartoon Street Sharks from when we were kids? I love the fact that these sharks don't try to swim on land. They get out and they are fucking shredded. Every one of these dudes has looks like what we aspire to be. They all have six packs, pecs, full
Bro,
blown
my
fucking
my
arms. Their
jaw
quads are on point.
my jaw dropped, like you said. Like the sharks get out and they all stand up and they started walking, and they're all like they're like bodybuilder sharks. I'm like, what? I'm like, what did Sean pick?
And then while everything is going haywire and the military can't contain this, we start seeing like these sharks are clearly like genetic mutations. They have some kind of human DNA. I could see that. They start running, they start throwing haymakers all while on land. I'm getting excited. They chase these dudes onto a goddamn spaceship, and this is how we wind up on the moon. How did you get every
I,
shark from the facility to follow you on the spaceship? Any way you look at
amazing.
it, though, I love it. I'm already like this is gonna be so bad it's good. I really hope this keeps momentuming. This momentum keeps
Keeps
momentuming.
momentum in. Yep.
That sounds like a bad Mentos commercial.
Yeah, that was rough.
But then we fast forward to present day in Florida,
Let's
and we
go.
are at a launch site. And one of them, at first, dude, like I'm listening to this dialogue, and one of these ladies has apparent like appendictis. I don't know how to say that. Appendicitis. I was drawing a blank.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't
I
know what was
was
happening.
instead of saying appendicitis, I was trying to say like appendectomy-itis or
Yeah, that's
something.
what I thought
I
you were
was
saying.
like,
You're like an appendectomy. I'm like, I don't
and
remember this part.
I don't know if this happened to you, but while they were talking to Mission Control, didn't it sound like they were like, "Fuck that bitch, just send the rocket."
Yeah, I was like really confused, like what
Yeah,
was happening in the scene. Like someone's getting sick, and then there's like, come on, like so, like what? Just
yeah.
like let's just
Like we
go,
can't delay this, dude. No, you're already in launch sequence. Like horrible time, and I get it, but you're probably gonna be dead by the time you get to outer space.
right? Like screw it, we're out.
And then it shows us flashes of like some dude on a motorcycle, and then out of nowhere, he's just walking onto the spaceship.
I,
Like there was no training, there's no prepping. He's what going in a leather jacket instead of a spacesuit.
dude, I love it too because like there's like it was the dumbest build up for what? I'm just like, wait, they built. I was just like, what is happening?
The only thing that would have made this better is while this guy's out on his bike, if we got highway to the danger zone. Highway to the danger
Danger
zone.
zone.
You know what I mean? Like very, very Top Gun esque. But they do launch into space. Successful launch, I might add, even though successfully I can't say words today. We learned that it is going to be roughly 68 hours until they land on the moon. That is quite the road trip, my friend.
Yeah, that's rough.
I think I might fight you if I ever got stuck into an enclosed space for 68 hours.
Yeah,
I
what's
mean,
that,
I
like two and a
really,
half
I
days?
really hope that someone brought like a Parcheesi board and they're all okay with fighting over Monopoly pieces.
Yeah, for real.
But as we get like a little bit of dialogue, because obviously with 68 hours to the moon, we got some time to kill. We find out that this mission to the moon is because they're looking to actually colonize the moon. And now this kind of gives us a reason why we're in space, because I don't think they would have waited, what, 40 years to go to
Yeah.
the moon to maybe try to save someone who might be alive with a bunch of sharks.
A little bit of
I mean, that's
foreshadowing.
a hell of a time gap. Maybe someone kept getting diarrhea right before launch and they had to keep delaying the flight.
Because yeah, it happens a lot. The pre-rocket runs. What?
Put it on a shirt.
Let's go.
But once they get in a range of the moon, all hell breaks loose. They start losing contact with base. The ship's hardware apparently is fried. They get taken way off course. They get taken to the far side of the moon instead of the near side of the moon. They have to brace for impact. They get a crash landing. They hit a satellite on the way in, so that completely eliminates all contact with mission control. Like shit just went from 0 to like 100 space knots, light years, or whatever, real fast. I don't know what kind of
Hmm.
terminology I should be using, but that's what it was. And once they got in on the moon, I am so excited because we didn't have to wait 25 minutes for a Ouija shark to pop up after a song and dance in a satanic outfit. It just,
Yeah, no,
we
I start
see
getting
a
excited now.
it's instantly the shark is swimming through the moon. I don't at this point, dude. I don't care how bad the CGI is. The fact that he is swimming through the ground on the moon is just wild. And we see the people that actually show up to help our current astronauts are the Soviet survivors living on the moon. And he's the one that's like, oh, I've been here for 40 years. I didn't think Americans would be the one to come and save me. And she's like,
They're like,
thoroughly
who?
confused. She's like, we're in full suits. Like, how are you out here looking like you're on an oxygen mask, like a
He's hanging
deathbed?
out.
And is it who's this? And like, it's his daughter. And they look at the back of her, and one of them goes to touch her suit, and she freaks out, but she's got a shark fin. And I literally put my head down and went, "Oh my god, did this man procreate with a shark?"
I know when I see that thing on her back, I'm like, why does she have like a hunchback? I'm like, what is that? Is
Yeah.
that a fin? Like, what am I
I'm
looking
like,
at?
yeah, I'm like, he's been up here for 40 years, and there's no way this chick is over 20.
And can I also just say, what stuff like got me into this right away is when they see like the shark coming on the moon, they're like, everybody run. And they just turn around and they're on the moon. So they're trying to run so fast, but they're just floating as one of the dudes, like there's four of them. One of them gets blown up by the shark. So like one of them is already dead right away. So you just lost a crew member. And that moon running, oh my God. I actually like laughed out loud. It was amazing.
You love it so much.
Oh.
Just before though, they like kind of gather themselves and try to like leave so they can come up with a game plan. Like Justin said, one of them dies and one of them gets taken hostage. And your first reaction is like, we got to go help my friend. And they're like, nah, dude, trust me. The Sharks want him as a hostage. If they were going to kill him, they would have just done it right here in front of you. We go and we start to realize because we follow this hostage for a split second. I'm referring to these sharks as multilingual sharks right now because they're speaking in English, but they're also speaking in Russian. And for some reason, I feel like they probably have some like telekinetic powers too, but that just might be the CGI that's like messing with me.
Let me read you my notes on this scene. I wrote, I mean, I can't believe I had to write the sentence down and we're going to talk about it, but oh my God, the Russian moon sharks speak. Sean, this is a lot to process right now.
They wear bras too. I've never seen a shark that wears a bra.
Yeah, yeah, I don't even know what's happening.
I mean, I get it, dude. You're stuck on a moon for 40 years. You probably were tempted.
And can we just say, like, all right, so like we see them speaking, but then we're back to the Russian, like their crash, like we're at to their site, like so we're at the Russian place where they're hanging out, and he basically describes the whole entire thing, like how he raised his daughter as his own, and how she's one of them. She's like a shock person, how they have special suits, basically that render them invisible for them, and the shocks were Cold War weapons. So it's really cool how he said, and he explains how like he lured them, like what we saw in the beginning. onto the ship to escape. The other guy sacrificed himself. They talk about how they drilled water, they grew their own food. So I do like how in like this one, it's a couple minute scene, like he tries to explain everything that
He does say
happens.
something about like there's algae, and that's how they make their makeshift oxygen, and that's why he's been able to survive so long, which I thought was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And he also says that he's a rock and roller and he saw Elton John and he's very excited and he's like, thank God for these records. I just love that he just randomly starts talking about Elton John, like just
And the
throws in
dude
like a
was like,
musician in
"I'm a
there.
rocket
Yeah,
man."
like I just absolutely love that they throw that in there, like best dialogue ever. And we see a quick flash, the group on the ship, like the rest of them, they're like, hey, like we gotta go look for them. Like this is like, I mean, we can't just stay here. And then we see the sharks. We're back to the sharks now. We're gonna jump around a little bit. And the captured poor dude, Henry, they are torturing him. And by torturing, I mean they rip his friggin' leg off and sear it shut, like the
Yeah,
wound shut.
thankfully, the cauterization of biting his leg off is a good way to preserve your snacks.
Yeah,
I think I
like
would have just rather bled out at that point.
it's for real. You're gonna keep me alive and like see it, like you said, like put it back. Like oh my god, like just for the love of God, just like it's over at that point. And anyway, back at the ship now, we see a few of them. They are headed out because they're like, we gotta go find them. And they basically
Can
say how like there's
let
dozens of sharks. What do you got?
can we discuss how their makeshift like spacesuits,
Yeah,
they look like they're, astronauts of King Arthur's round table?
dude, it
Are
really
they
does.
wearing chain mail over their heads? I'm pretty sure they are.
No, yes, no, that's what I said. It is hilarious. They literally look like I'm like, are these? I literally think at one part I wrote they look like astronaut knights or something.
Yeah.
Like, and then
I dub
basically,
these shark.
yeah. And then they're walking there to the lair and they say how there's dozens of sharks. And then, oh my God, what movie are we watching? Because they see the shark lair. It's Ghost of Mars. I'm waiting for Ice Cube.
Dude, I have that
Where,
written down. I shit you not. I
yeah,
was like, oh my God, is this Sharks of Mars?
this is 100%. I wrote, this is the scene. I want Ice Cube to run out with a gun, like, let's go,
Yeah.
motherfucker. And just start shooting because I'm like, this is Ghost of Mars. And also,
The
like, they're
only
like,
difference is we can understand the Sharks, and the dude that was the leader of the Ghost of Mars with the football pads on, whenever he yelled, he just sounded like he was chanting like, oh, no, 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 no.
yeah. And then I love how they're attacked. And the half shot girl I wrote turns into Resident Evil chick. Can't think of her
Dude, she's
name,
so badass. Her
but
name's Akula.
yeah, Akula all of a sudden turns into the Resident Evil chick. She is like jumping up, slow motion kicks, and like crazy shit, and like
Dude,
spears.
I am
Kills.
so impressed that instead of just killing these sharks, they, bro, they're fighting a hammerhead, and they
Mhm.
take the time to cut off one eye at a time.
Yeah,
So this thing is fully blind, and then she gives it the death blow. I was
like
like, this might be the Mount Rushmore of shark kills in any movie ever created.
no, I did think that was actually badass. And then now we see the other two crew members. We see crew members at the ship, and they're like, "Hey, we gotta go like look for people. Like we gotta go out there." So I believe the guy's name's Owen, and one of the girls from the ship. They go out there, and does not go good. Right, Owen's pretty much killed like right away, and then we see the
I think
girl.
he gets killed by the shark behind you, because I was like, Owen gets killed and turned into a shark snack by some nasty ass looking Debo motherfucker trying to snatch his chain.
Oh my God,
He was
dude,
one ugly ass looking fucking shark.
so ugly. And then unfortunately, I thought the girl was gonna make it. She's running for her life, but you like I said, the running in this movie is pretty much like this.
I
So
think her name's Ellie.
yeah, Ellie did not get far at all.
You did not stand a chance.
She is viciously, absolutely obliterated by friggin' Debo the Shark. And we see now, like the three of them left on the ship, they figured out that they have a 6 hour window to get home. Or if they don't, I think they said they had to wait like what, for another month or something. So they
Yeah,
pretty
before
much,
like help comes, because they're
yeah,
expecting them to be there for a month
exactly.
with minimal communications.
So now this is picking up. We got a tick and talk right now. Tick and talk,
Tick and talk,
a tick
a
and
talk
talk.
ticking,
We got
a
a tick.
ticky talk.
We got a clock on this
You
shit
want to
now.
make a TikTok?
Yeah. So the
Clip
four,
it.
so the four of them break into the Ghost of Mars lodge. They end up finding one shark in the way. They end up killing it. They were actually trying to be wicked smart too, because they were trying to not like kill the shark or make
They
him
were gonna
bleed.
interrogate it, I believe,
Yes.
and they did. They got it on its back, which absolutely immobilizes the sharks.
Yep.
And I thought I didn't realize that. You know how sharks can smell blood?
Yeah.
That's why they didn't want to like injure it or anything. Makes perfect sense. When this shark was on its back, I honest to God didn't realize that it bit its own lip so it like the blood would attract smells. I thought
Yeah.
it bit into its tooth like a cyanide pill. Like I thought
Oh
it was
yeah,
a soldier, like, nope, you're not getting me.
yeah, yeah, dude bet himself just for friggin' to get that. And then they do end up finding Henry. And they also realize, he tells them, like, these sharks all planning on using their ship because they need a giant ship to
Mhm.
get to Earth with all the friggin' eggs that they have.
There were so many.
And there's so many because it is escape time now with Henry. And they see, well, like Sean said, dude, these hybrid shark eggs, there's so many of them, and the guy right away he wants to kill it, but a cooler, you can tell. I mean, she's torn. She's like kind of freaks out and is like,
Yeah,
"It's
she's
not,
like, these are just babies.
dude.
Like,
They're just
no.
babies. It's not our fault. Like I get it, but at the same time, you got to kill these things. I'm so sorry, but Akula, she doesn't want it. And then we see like the shark leader, who I forget her name, but we see like her. She's like talking to,
I honestly, I have it written down, but I still can't pronounce it. So we're just gonna call her the shark leader.
yeah. So shark leader girl is talking to Ecola. Ecola. What the hell's her freaking name?
E. cola,
I
E. cola. Her
Akula.
name's
Oh my God.
Akula.
Did I just call it E. coli? E.
You called
coli.
her a disease.
Oh my God. Yeah, the shock leader woman is talking to Akula. Sorry, this is a lot to process trying to break down this movie because there's a lot. And you kind of get the hint like, wait, is she with her? Yeah, it's kind of like you're trying to wonder, like, wait, is what's happening here? But she goes away and you hear her yell, release the big one. And at the same time, Michael knocks over the rows of eggs and they run for their lives. And you can tell Akula is pissed about that. But at the same time, they
I
are
love how
flying.
we find out they're fucking sisters.
Yeah, exactly. I
That
was gonna
was
say,
like that blew my mind. I was like, all right. And then you get into like the A reproduction, which means they can reproduce on their own. And I'm like,
yeah,
now this all makes
it
sense.
makes a lot more sense. Like I said, Sean says they basically talk about how they can reproduce. So otherwise, there's some weird moon shock orgy going on. They had to explain
Yeah, I was
themselves.
like, this is some Jerry Springer on the moon type stuff.
And they run for their life and they end up, the four of them are chased by this friggin' T-Rex of a shark, which is the big one. And Akula ends up like throwing the spear, hits this thing in the nose. They get back to the ship. They friggin' kill that giant badass thing. And they are back to the ship. And is I'll let you take it back over. Is anyone alive at the ship? Did they find anyone? What's going on now?
They do find that Josie and Tom, who they left behind, actually fought back and they've been holding their own for a little bit, but the odds don't look too good at all for them. And like I said, the survivors, uh, they're all right now in a race from that ship back to the shark colony after they release the big one. This thing is like, you weren't kidding when you said it was big. It is literally a megalodon of their colony.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the groups are reunited right now. They start trying to come up with a game plan. They want to get off the moon and they want to leave these sharks behind. They even, I think, at one point try to like barter, like just let us go home. We'll
Yeah.
fly you guys back all the supplies you need. You've
Yeah, yeah.
already
Well, okay.
colonized somewhat. Just stay here and keep going. They're like, nah, we want
Mm-hmm.
Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but like I said, these sharks are banging on the door. They're trying to break in. And Henry basically offers himself up as a sacrifice to draw the sharks away from the ship. And I'm like, you know what? I would too. This dude is missing everything on the right side of his body from the kneecap down, and he is probably in so much goddamn pain that he's not going to want to
Oh.
take that flight home. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just end it. This poor guy has suffered enough. And he does just that. He goes out and he starts fighting with these sharks. And I think he stuffs an oxygen tank into one of their mouths
Yeah.
and blows it up and just turns this into cans of tuna fish. Like there's just dead sharks everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it does not last long because these sharks are fast, they are cunning, and they are apex predators. And hordes of sharks start showing up and they actually start boarding the ship. And these motherfuckers are so cocky. They haven't won the battle yet, but they're already loading their stuff onto the ship like they've won.
As I say, the battle's still going on, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Yep, no, we're like
Yeah,
they are
just
so
load up the
cocky."
ship. We'll leave when we're ready.
Yep.
We see Josie, one of the other survivors, gets taken out pretty fast, as well as Tom, which is kind of expected because these two aren't like really
No.
combative people. They're the scientists there. They were like looking for I think Josie was trying to create a renewable source of energy.
Yep.
Like they're very smart, and that's why they were on this trip. They're not the muscle at all. Like I said, neither one of these dudes puts up a fight. We're down to 4 remaining survivors. Uh, and after Nicole, like I said, fails to negotiate some form of a truce, they begin a course to Earth. And while these sharks are taking off to Earth, um, I think she sends one called Scar after them.
Yeah.
And right before she can start a feeding frenzy on these survivors, Henry survives. And
Let's
I am so
go.
pumped. This dude is resilient as fuck. And he puts a spear right through Scar's heart, effectively saving his friends. They manage to come up with some form of like a game plan because Henry gives them flight plans before he gets immediately eliminated
Honestly,
by
he gets
another
right
shark.
away.
I'm
Ugh.
pretty sure it's the shark behind you. Again, like I think they're reusing sharks at this
Yeah.
point because I thought we killed like the megalodon one, but I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure he was back. And I could have sworn Scar gets taken out here, and then she's back at like the end of the movie.
Yeah, I
Like
think they had it.
there's
They
a
probably
yeah,
just definitely reuse some
which I'm
sharks.
completely fine with. You know what I mean? Because they all look badass.
Hmm.
But after he gets taken out by the shark, all our survivors kind of set up this spaceship to explode. I think, or are they gonna? All right, they come up with a game plan, and Sergey is going to use his
There you go.
spaceship
Yep.
as a bomb. And to do this, they all start jumping off the ship they're currently on, and they're gonna make a break for the Russian ship. It's very hard for me to like focus right now and do all this shit because I'm more into watching the movie than I am taking notes. But they do
Well, no,
get
that
Sergey.
that's
Say that
that.
again.
No, I was
Okay.
just gonna say this part two, same thing. I had to rewatch the end because the same thing. I'm like, wait, what is happening? Who's sacrificing who now, and where does this other rocket come from? The same thing. Like I was like, wait, I had to rewatch the last 10 minutes.
So Sergey does get to his ship, and he, like I said, he's also willing to sacrifice himself to save
Yep.
his daughter and the rest of the crew. And they split up. Sergey uses his ship to, I think, not only explode the fucking colony, but the blast radius, I think they said was something like 50 miles wide,
Yeah,
which takes out their spaceship
their
home.
ship.
And
Hmm.
at this point, I'm like, all right, so they took out this ship. They all jumped off this ship. Sergey's blowing up his ship. I'm like, how the hell are they going to get home? I'm like, this is insanity. I'm like, because you just blew up the colony that you could use to live in. And I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. But we see the rest of them are on the ground right now with melee weapons, and they're just slicing and dicing dozens of sharks. Sergey's plan goes off without a hitch. His ship, like I said, creates a massive explosion. Everything is crashing, everything is burning. And then out of nowhere, I don't know how these people got on here, but we see a safety pod get launched from the moon and make it all the way back to Earth with nothing more than a flotation device on the inside with them. That must have been the most uncomfortable ride ever.
I'm so glad you were confused by that too. I was like, what?
I was like, how did they get in there? I'm like, weren't they just on the moon
I was so
fighting?
confused.
And
That's
I'm
why
like, all right. I was like, maybe the space pod came from Sergey's ship, but when that ship blew up, they weren't on it.
that's why I had to re. I was like, what is happening? I'm like, how did they have it? Because I was thinking the same thing as you. I'm like, wait, how did they? Everything else just blew up. How are they going to get home?
All right. And eventually they do get home. All 3 of them land. It looks like we're gonna get a happy ending. And
Let's
I'm
go.
like, all right. She's like, uh, we got to come up with a plan. Maybe we could stay here until the night, follow the stars, find our way home, like this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, all right, that sounds like a god awful plan. If you're in a rescue pod, it should send off a GPS beacon for someone to come get you.
Hmm.
Um, and then Akula starts like getting gassy. I'm like, oh, maybe she needs, appendicitis too. And she gets pregnant really fucking fast, like super fast.
Yes,
Yeah. And
like
immediately gives
they're
birth.
popping out. They're popping out
And
right
I,
away.
I like how the 2 humans, like the 2 remaining survivors, are like, oh, they're so cute. And then the sharks start trying to eat them.
Yeah, and just
And they
jump in.
they all jump into the water.
There's
And
a million of them.
I'm like, I mean, this is a great way to do a second story because we don't see anything else after this other than Akula go, I must take care of my babies. Deuces. She
And
jumps
she
into the
just jumps
water and
out.
leaves them all by. I'm like, I was
Dude,
waiting for more. And then it just goes right into end credits.
and I love how they look at each other. They're like, "We're so fucked," and then like the
Yeah.
movie just ends. And I'm pretty sure I counted. I think she had like 10 babies. Like,
Oh, yeah.
what?
They just kept coming
Like,
out. I
My
thought she
God.
only had one, and I was like, oh. And then it was like blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah
there's
blah
like a
blah blah.
million. Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
God damn it, piranha much?
Crazy.
All right, Justin, give me your final thoughts on this. Pretty
Okay.
brief.
So first, I'm gonna tell you how this movie got made. I'm just gonna make this up. I just know what happens. Trust me, this is real. I'm gonna clip this shit because tell me this isn't what happened. Ready? So this directors, they clearly so they took edibles, right? And
Yep.
then they watched Deep Blue Sea, a double feature, and then they watched Ghost of Mars. And then after that, they were really tired. So they went to sleep and put Dark Side of the Moon on by Pink Floyd, and they passed out. And then they woke up and after all those crazy dreams, they're like Shark Side of the Moon. Tell me that doesn't make sense, right?
That makes a lot of sense. Instead of like another brick in the wall, it's another fin in the sand or something like
Yeah,
that.
like 100%. I I'm pretty sure too. In this one part of this movie, I swear they said something about like a great gig in the sky, and I'm pretty sure that's like a song by Pink Floyd. I think that's like a song from that album or something, or a song. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure there was like another Pink Floyd reference in this movie.
Oh hell
Um,
yeah.
so I wrote, look, I surprisingly had fun with this one. Maybe because I love Ghost of Mars, or maybe because I just watched Ouija Shock 2 before it. But but this movie is stupid. Don't get me wrong. But it is the sharks are hilarious. They're friggin' jacked. I'm gonna go hit a workout after this because it's fin day. But I I
Gotta get my breaststroke on.
yeah. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I give this a 5.7, which I think is pretty fair for a movie called Sharks Out of the Moon. If you're into a goofy mood, you want to watch a ridiculous space shark movie. I mean, this is the movie for you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I had
yeah.
fun with it.
So I was like, this isn't a bad movie at all. I rather actually enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting to be blown away, but for what it was pretty good. The acting was surprisingly good. Not great or horrible by any stretch, but it was good. I felt like this is a fun sci-fi channel made for TV movie. I would 100% watch this again, but I'm not going to like overly recommend it and tell people they must see it. I'm going to
Oh
give
yeah.
this a dead center 5.
All right. We got a 5 and a 5.7. Let's go.
I would rate it higher, but I was like, there's so much like bouncing around that it made my head spin a little bit trying to take notes, and that kind of pissed me off. But I had so much fun with just the you know lackluster character building, but I still like the characters.
That's
The
the same thing.
sharks,
It's
you know what I
the
mean?
characters are kind of fun, and I just loved, dude, the running.
The
I just
run,
loved it
oh,
so much, and I loved how he's just like, "You're a Rocket Man now." He like dropped Elton John references, and he's just like talking about. Oh my God, just it was.
and then there's some smart like choices in this movie. Like algae does help with oxygen. And he
Yep.
was like, that's how I've been surviving. Like they explain these things to you instead of just leaving it a mystery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Is no matter how far fetched some of the shit is that he said, they explained it. They at least like they realized they had to they owed us some kind of
Yeah.
explanation, and I feel like they provided enough info to make us Shocks Out of the Moon fans happy.
Yeah. And even
Do,
like with the sharks, you would be like, well, aren't they only supposed to breathe underwater? And then you realize they're cross genetic with humans, so they can breathe on like air and in water.
yep.
And then you would be like, well, then how are they surviving on the moon? There's one point where they're talking to Akula and she shows them the fin and she's
Yeah.
like, we've been genetically modified to survive in any condition.
Yep. They were
And
cold.
I'm
They're
like,
supposed yeah, they were being bred to be like Cold War super power
yeah,
shit weapons.
which was really cool.
Do you got any fun facts for us?
This is a 2.8 out of 10 on IMDb, which I actually think is criminally low for how
That
fun
is
this movie was.
that is like, come on.
But, but this
Okay.
is 70% on Rotten Tomatoes,
There we go. I was gonna say, come on, this is a fun movie.
right?
I got that. This is a Tubi original. So shout out Tubi. Let's go.
And then the title, Shark Side of the Moon, is actually a playful take, like we kept saying, to Dark Side of the Moon, but with Russian mutant sharks, as the title suggests.
And I got, oh man, the directors, Glenn Campbell and Tammy Klein. Dude, he has over 250 IMDb credits. She has over 300. And most of them are like visual effects. And they've done some visual effects on like some like big movies. Like these two people know what they're doing. They don't have tons of directing credits, but they're like masters in their craft at visual effects. So shout out both of them.
So Lindsay Marie Wilson, um, she has some stuff with a second monster in an animated themed movie. She was also a bull shark. She was in Shark Side of the Moon. She was in Armageddon and Ape versus Mecha Ape. And she's also starring in a movie that has yet to come out called Bull Shark 2.
Oh my God.
So
Love
someone's
it.
got some niche with some sharks, which is pretty cool.
Let's go. And I got nothing left.
And then the last one, because there really wasn't too much in like the trivia section, was producers reportedly toyed with adding a shower scene with naked female astronauts who get ready before the launch for an unrated version of this movie. However, they didn't want to pay the additional amount to the actresses and it was all scrapped, which props to the actresses for just not doing it because they wanted to do it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, like horror and gratuitous nudity goes good together.
Yeah,
But I
it's
feel like,
like peanut butter and jellyfish, right?
but yeah, it's good. But I do feel like that would have, like, for this movie, like, wouldn't that be I just feel like that'd be like
I'm
so out
I'm
of,
glad they didn't play into that trope because I feel like it just would have made it less
yeah. Like,
than.
I feel like they didn't need that for this. Like, we had badass Russian moon shocks. You know what I'm saying?
That,
So
that was so much fun. Like I hope that there's a Shark Side of the Moon too,
yeah.
and they get a massive budget and we get like a real featured movie out of this. Like I actually
Oh my
really
God.
enjoyed this. Like I was shocked at how much I enjoyed this, and maybe it's because we watched Ouija Shark 2 right before it. that could have a lot to do with it. I'm not
It
knocking
for
Ouija
real.
Shark because that is so bad it's bad. And we had a lot of
Yeah.
fun doing those movies, but oh man. This is like
I
someone
think that's
being
so
like,
funny.
hey, drink this bottle of water and then tasting soda for the first time.
The same thing. I'm like, is it good because we watched that one? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe that's why. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, man. But all right, Hack Stab Slash.
Till
Until
tomorrow.
tomorrow, where we
Yeah.
drop another shark
Another
movie.
shock.
Oh, yo ass.
Every
Um,
day. Every
yeah.
day.
Don't forget
Every
to
day.
wear your floaties and just remember whether if it's in an ocean, you're not safe. If it's
No.
in a lake, you're not safe. If it's in a pond, you're not safe.
Nope.
And clearly, if it's on another planet, you're really not
You're
fucking
still
safe.
not safe.
So stay in your basements and shut off the water. And,
Let's
and
go.
we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Peace.
Later.